and we're using ultimates and we die because of it. And they kind of just... They're probably going to win that fight because of this. Hello everyone, and welcome to another Dihan video. My name's Dihan, and today we're going to be looking at a Masters Baptiste and Kiriko. I feel like a majority of this match is going to be focused on timing and perfect timing because this is Masters, and the difference between Masters and Grandmasters usually is all about the perfect timing of using abilities, rotations, when to heal, when to shoot. So our Mercy is going to be mainly with our Sojourn and our Soldier, and we're going to be mainly focusing on that Reinhardt for heals, keeping him up when he's going in deep. We do use regen burst here a little early, I think. No one was really in any critical thing, and we could probably use a regen burst now. Because of that, we kind of lose tempo. And because we lost tempo, we're kind of just forcing to use our abilities and we have to back up. So I would have said hold on to the regen burst a little bit later in that fight, and maybe we actually can push in. Soldier does get 2 picks, that's really good. Our Reinhardt's probably going to be looking to go engage heavy here, so we're going to probably rotate in with him. Here we're standing a little out in the open. The good thing they're not shooting at us there. We probably could have rotated right near the cover there. Sojourn overextends and dies, so we got to play a little more defensive. This is too much in the open, and so because we're in the open, we have to use our regen burst, and we're using ultimates and we die because of it. And they kind of just, they're probably going to win that fight because of this. We were standing here, which has no cover compared to, like, could have stood here. It would have been the same deal. You could have also probably just stood back here. This would have really, you know, narrowed the sight lines to heal just the Reinhardt. Especially because he wasn't going anywhere aggressive yet. And then as soon as he started going aggressive, we can push up here. Us playing here is going to be a better option than where we were standing right here. Because like I said, we got pressured out by that Cassidy, which made us have to pop that regen burst. And because we popped that, we then had to throw Immortality, use all of our abilities. Then we had no abilities, and now we're just getting, you know, pressured down. If we played back here, we wouldn't have to use any of those abilities until, you know, our Reinhardt started getting low, in which case we would walk up here, regen burst, and we could rotate back to this column. Alright, looks like we're going left side. Our Reinhardt did kind of blow up there, just from overextending. Yeah, that's just a lost fight, I think. Oh, it looks like Reinhardt's confirming stuff. Good. All right, so that was just a good play from, I guess, your team. I didn't really see much impact you really did there. Maybe just play up closer to your Reinhardt a little bit, but it was also good on you not to get killed by the tire. Overall, though, I think that was just a good play from your team. I don't think we needed our Immortality there, especially because Ramatra's punch just goes straight through it. Good regen burst. I might have called out for a res there, and maybe Immortality fielded the res. Good Immortality field for that. Very strong. Way to use your Immortality to double your healing. This is really good. Yeah, I think that Matrix really won us that fight. Yep, so we should be focusing on where we want to position here. This positioning is not fantastic. It does apply places for damage, but we're not really using that the damage. We definitely could be shooting up more as Baptiste. Something that most Baptiste players don't realize, very good to shoot the tire, is you can shoot damage twice for every one heal you do. So you can really be applying poke, and you can even do this while you're just standing there and your Reinhardt's holding up shield. So here, I want to know what's kind of stopping us from shooting and healing, because we can easily be aiming at this Reinhardt, but then also shooting the Ramatra and the Cassidy through him. So our healing grenades will stop at Reinhardt, but then our hit scan's going to go through. This is going to apply a little bit extra damage into those fights, which is going to make a lot more, you know, killing points for Soldier to maybe land a Helix and your Sojourn to land a right click. Well, I guess Tracer now. Tracer to land a one click. If I were you, I would say just in general to do that more. So we definitely could be applying more damage with Baptiste. If you guys are liking the content, make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. I do post videos every week to help you guys climb. And if you guys have a video that you want me to review, just comment it down in the comments below. I'll try to make sure I get to it. Alright, so we're playing Kiriko this time. Kiriko's kind of works just the same as Baptiste. We're going to be using that Suzu to cleanse us. Unfortunately, Junkrat kind of got on a flank there, and we were a little over-positioned. You guys know I always like to say this, but why would we stand here, exposing ourselves to a flank, when we can easily stand here and expose ourselves just to this one angle? It's going to be a lot easier for us to do this, and we're going to be safer doing this than if we, you know, overexpose ourselves to multiple situations. So always keep in mind what sight lines are on you, and try to limit it just to one sight line so that it's a fair duel every time. I think we can apply more damage here. Our team isn't really in need of healing, so yep, there we go. You can apply more damage like that. Teleport over. Cool. If your team's full health and they're not really taking much damage, you should really try to get some damage on the board so that your team, mainly your damage, has an easier time getting it picks for the fight. It helps immensely. Junkrat's up there. Good to back up. So I probably would have popped Kitsune before they used Tire. You want to kind of set the tempo and set the pace of the fight early. If you end up using your ultimates late, then it's going to be a waste, because the team that uses the ultimates first usually wins the fight. Unless you have a defensive ultimate like Transcendence. Obviously that one you have to use after everyone else uses theirs, because that one's going to negate most ultimates. Yep, there's a lot of people there, so definitely aim head height and shoot in there. You might be able to get a couple picks. It's a good Suzu. You don't have to teleport next to him every time, too. Suzu kind of works like an Ana grenade. Looks like we're positioning up here. Looks like our Bastion got caught out there. Big Suzu. Oh, almost got the Zen. Unlucky. Teleport to Tracer, maybe? Okay, looks like we're backing out. That's a good stall. Very good to get it to 96. Now we just need one win. Looks like we're coming with Pulse Bomb, Suzu, and Bastion ult. So I would say for this fight, as soon as I get Suzu, I'm gonna pop it. Since this is kind of approaching last fight, so everything kind of needs to happen. So that Zen ult, that's good. We got that out. That would counter our ult entirely. Ooh, we get kind of caught out here. So unfortunately, we get caught in a bad position. I'm not sure what did we use our Suzu on. We didn't have Suzu, and I think that may have been the reason that this kind of goes bad. Okay, so we were caught using Suzu because we just couldn't climb this wall. Okay, so this just goes to be like how precise that it goes. We're approaching final fight here, so we kind of needed to keep Suzu because D.Va needed it there. If D.Va got Suzu there, we probably heal her up. We probably get Kitsune Rush. And then we might win the fight, because Ramatra still has his ult, but at least D.Va doesn't go down. Instead, we lose it. We don't have anything. And we die without getting our Kitsune. It's overtime. D.Va comes back. We still don't have our Kitsune on the board. We're trying to get a teleport in. And everyone's critical. Doesn't seem like it's gonna happen. Ooh, almost got the Reaper there. Yeah, so I'd say just don't drop. You could probably have played up here fine. Another thing you probably could have done is just played over here and not have to play it with this awkward angle up here, but instead you could have probably played over here with these sight lines, knowing that your team's on high ground. In general, I'd say this is also a pretty good Ana position, just because you have, you know, this sight line that you can aim at, and then once they overextend, they got over there. And then maybe you'll rotate over here with Ana. But yeah, don't... Up here is kind of awkward unless your team is kind of on the low ground, fighting down there. So I would say in general, probably just come over here and play this angle. But it just goes to show, like, don't mess up your rotation. Otherwise, you might just lose that team fight just because of one rotation. Yeah, so that's kind of the game. Things we need to work on. You definitely need to be more wary of when you're using your abilities. During your Baptiste ult or Baptiste regen bursts, you were using it when your team was full health. And so you then wouldn't have it when your team really needed it. So your team would literally lose tempo just because you don't have an ability. Something else you could work on is applying more damage in the neutral fight, which is when both teams basically have not engaged any abilities yet. This might help your DPS get a pick early so that it's a 5v4 instead of still a 5v5 with abilities having to be used now. Focus on your positioning a little more. There's several places where you are just standing out in the open and you may not have died initially because of it, but you got poked out to the point where now you're committing your abilities and it goes back to the ability usage where you now don't have the tempo because you got forced out because of your positioning being too out in the open. So as always, I hope this helps, and hopefully you can reach Grandmaster. Thanks for watching.